So let's talk about the powers of your mind. Many of you know that I have this amazing ability to call specific numbers or events. I don't believe in psychics. Most of them are frauds. They ask leading questions and they guess based on what you tell them. Sometimes you tell them too much. No flipping of cards, nothing. Just your inner superhero powers. Okay, so, I was always a little bit different, okay? And, well, sometimes I knew things. Or was it maybe that I was aware of things? And then, there was a time in my life, let me just tell you, my mom is the best person in my life. She don't flip cards, she don't do any of that foolishness, none of that, okay? So when my dad had died, okay, my mom started working for one of those psychic companies. No, not like Miss Cleo. It was called California Psychics. Okay, most of them suck. But they're pretty legit, they test you. Only 1 out of 100 people that apply actually get hired. Well, it was a time in my life before crypto, okay, where I needed to make money. My mother was like, do this. And what I realized is it made me a freak mutant, okay? They start you at a certain dollar amount per minute, okay? Now, the highest rank at that time was $10 a minute. And they rank you based on customer feedback and all that. So, I started making $5,000 a week, which today I make that in a half of a fucking afternoon. Actually, I made that before breakfast, double that, trading. But that's another story, okay? Now, so I do this, right? And I swear to God, if you're not psychic before you start doing that, you will be after you practice it. So, after talking, I was a workaholic because I wanted to be rich again. I was rich before this, okay? And then through a confluence of events, I lost everything. Sold my Lamborghinis, everything. And now he came back 10 times bigger. But that's the story of struggle and survival for a different day. So, now I'm at the point where people always have the same problems, either relationships or money or whatever. And, well, I tell you, somebody would call me and say, oh, it's about my boyfriend or whatever. I wouldn't ask no questions. I would ask 2. How long have you been together, or how long have you been apart? And I got to the point where I could describe the whole relationship and everything that happened and how to fix it. I really good. And I realized that it's like going to the gym. That freak experience of the year that I worked for that company, or maybe 8 months, whatever. I think it was a year, I don't know. Maybe 8 months before I got into crypto. And it changed me. So, we all have this ability. And then I'm talking this morning to one of my attorneys about something. And I was telling him, like, how I bought puts on Tesla. And 3 days later, Elon Musk comes out and says, the stock price is overpriced. How could I have known? How could I call exact numbers in trading? Like when I called ETH 111.78 and it hit about 60 days later exactly. Nobody knows. Well, it's this power. You have the ability, you ignore it. And you're not trained. I've become like a soldier of the mind, like a machine. This has nothing to do with God or anything religious. This is about your hidden superpowers. I've told you many times. There are things that you don't have to see to understand. On my channel, there's a spell to get money. I did that. It's only if it's needed money. and $75,000 came to me at a time when I needed it from an unexpected source. Then there's the thing with the egg with the water. It will amaze you if you go back and watch that video. So your unconscious mind is always telling you things, okay? But you don't listen. Children don't know not to listen to it. Children don't know. Now imagine if your child, okay, had these kind of abilities. Imagine if you really listened to your child. Especially toddlers, 5 years old. So I've given you the example many times, right? Oh wait, I lost my train of thought because you understand, I'm getting interrupted with DMs. I have consultations waiting. Don't ever ask me for a psychic consultation. I don't do that shit, okay? But I'm talking to my attorney today. And, we were talking about these things. And he said, a lot of times, he goes, that comes, a part of that is intuition. He says detectives, police detectives have that. They can read people. But I'm far beyond that. That's why I know how to pick winning platforms and everything else. Far above that, because I'm highly trained in using the abilities of my mind. I can almost will the chart on demand, okay? It's funny when I look at my trades, back on April 30th, okay? Well, this was on May 2nd. I demanded a number because I knew it was coming. I seen it in my mind. That number hits, always. I make tons of money on that. It was about $5,000 on that one trade. On 5-4. We are at 88.46. I have no timeline. It doesn't matter for us because of how we trade. But I see the pump over 91.84. And then it happened and we exploded to 10,000. I know the exact numbers from a combination of things. One, I've highly trained this part of my mind. That little inner voice sometimes that says, don't turn this way, go the other way. Sometimes you don't listen. Sometimes things happen, sometimes they don't. But you have to start tuning into this because you're not skilled. And as you start to listen to that little voice, okay, that little voice, it gets stronger and stronger. I could look at a person walking down the street and tell you if they're sick or not. And they don't even have to cough. I can go in a crowded place like Times Square where people are sightseeing and not watching where they're walking. And if you didn't move, they would walk into you. Told you there's constant distractions. Well, I could be in a crowded area and, people not watching where they're walking. Usually you have to step out of the way like walking through New York City traffic pre-COVID. I have the ability to move people out of the way, okay? I can make someone look at me and turn their head. It's all intuition and focus. It's your intention, every form of magic. I've studied all of it, Santeria. I'm Catholic. I do believe in, I wouldn't dare say I don't believe in God, but I'm not religious by any means. So I've developed this. It's almost like that movie Glass. Did you ever see that movie Glass? Well, it's about people that think that they have superpowers. Some of them actually do. It takes it to an extreme extent. Next, I'm going to talk to you about NZT, the movie Limitless, and how that took me a step further and kind of created something like a super soldier. I'll be back. I have to do consultations for you. It'll just be like nothing happened. All right, so I had to pause you for a minute, okay? There's always a little truth in movies. And I've lost my whole train and mojo to do this video, but I'll do it for you. You were on pause for a very long time. I had business to do. Listen to this from the movie Glass.
It's amazing to meet you. It is simply extraordinary. Maybe Maybe this will all make sense if I explain who I am.
My name is Dr. Ellie Staple, and I'm a psychiatrist. My work concerns a particular type of delusion of grandeur.
Delusion? My ass.
It's a growing field.
I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes.
How fucked up is that? What if there's a little truth in this that they never told you? What if there were ways that you could amp yourself up and become a form of a super soldier, a form of something connected to the Matrix that sees and knows all, sense and feel? Is it a delusion of grandeur? Or is it real? Check this out.
What do you do?
I'm in security.
You think you have superpowers?
It's a feeling. Vision.
I don't even need to bump into people to know. I can sense someone. It just becomes, you can amp yourself to a level beyond imagination. Have you ever seen the movie Limitless? Well, I don't know how I stumbled upon Bitcoin. Divine intervention, whatever, at the right time, at the right moment. Nor do I know how I stumbled upon the real Limitless. Don't ever ask me what it is. You can't get it. You cannot get it. Now, there are a whole bunch of nootropics, okay, that don't work. Drugs like modafinil and mushrooms and everything that anybody's ever tried, it's none of that. Now, it morphs you. Something happens to you. Like, people ask me, Oracle, do you sleep? I sleep faster than human, okay? Now, I'm not talking about the TV show Limitless. I'm talking about the movie. This stuff, I will give you hints, okay? But you can't get it anymore. It's off the market. It's gone. I have a kilo. It's a 5 to 10 year supply. But after you take it for a while, I've been taking it for about 2 years, you don't need it anymore, unlike the movie. Again, there's some truths in every movie. Research the Super Soldier program. Research here. Learn. But I will tell you, it's real. And when you add it to everything else, it's not none of this. But this is a hint in the right direction of the part of your brain that it functions on. And you don't become reliant on it. It doesn't make you a high. Nothing. It opens your mind. Money comes from one place, and that is ideas. Ideas. This gives you, how do you think I created War on the Woman chart, anti-liquidation countermeasures, everything that I've done? How do you think I brought myself from hero to zero to hero and bigger and better than ever before? I've become something different. It's almost like there's two sides of me. There's the real me, and then there's Oracle.
Got one more.
Well, I suppose I can help you with that. You know how they say that we can only access 20% of our brain? This lets you access all of it.
Imagine YouTubers struggle to make content for one channel. I have 12 channels. 12 channels in all, okay? My mind is just filled with content. I know things. It's like I am connected to everything.
They've had clinical trials and it's FDA approved.
All right, just out of curiosity, and that's all.
Now remember, I was like this already. This just took me to a level that's almost unachievable by human beings.
I was blind, but now I see. A tablet a day, and I was limitless. I now had cultural appetites.
Since when do you speak Italian?
I finished my book in 4 days. I'd like to renegotiate my advance. Math became useful.
From 12,000 to 2.3 million in 10 days.
I'm baffled by this guy. So, Eddie...
Nobody can believe how I trade. Nobody. And now I have the gift that I bestow on other people and teach them. The formulation I've created.
Hey, Mara, you do know you're a freak. What's your secret?
Medication.
Your powers are a gift from God or whoever the hell wrote your life script. I'll open up a line of credit for you. You'll be wanting a few toys.
How many of us ever know what it is to become the perfect version of ourselves?
What's the asking price?
12.5.
I'll take it.
That's what it's like. That's what it's like. Can you fucking imagine unlocking your raw power and potential? It all begins with consciousness. Being conscious. And then practice. And then strengthen it. You could move fucking mountains. I had to run.